morning, everyone, or evening or afternoon, depending on where you are and in the world and whether you're on replay or not. And at the moment, it will be my replay, beautiful people. So, hello, welcome. I'm looking forward to today's workshop today, as usual. It's going to be actually a really cool, juicy one. This is how we're going to take our energy work way higher, like into much more levels of potency. This is kind of some of the more advanced energy practice work in manifestation. I'm excited to teach it today. So, how was everyone's Lionsgate peak experience on the 8th? Everyone's had an 8th now, I think. Some of you are having an 8th right now, I think. So, share in the comments what Lionsgate energy as it peaked was like for you. And that can be anything, right? Good or bad. I'm just curious how everyone was experiencing it in their bodies and in the classroom of their life that day. So let me know. I want to know. And as you jump on replay or live, come and say hello. Let me know you're here. My Lionsgate peak yesterday was, I spent the whole day and kind of realized by the end of the day, a total 5D experience, but just sort of a really altered state, which was actually really cool. And it was an unusual day here. We're meant to be in winter, quite heavy winter, but it actually felt like spring here in the mountains yesterday. I mean, still cold, but spring, I would say. I don't think it will be. I'm expecting more cold snaps, and we sometimes have some late snow, but it felt warm. Hey Lisa, you are here for a little bit, even though you're going to work soon. It's nice to have you, honey. How was your Lionsgate 8th, the peak? How was the energies? It's definitely spring here too, yeah, I know. I'm thinking more cold snap before we really go into spring, surely. Seems a bit early. Okay, so let's get started right into the teaching. Get going. Okay, so today we're talking about amplifying all our energetic work, creating those whitewater rapids of manifestation, as we call them, and creating flow states on demand. And we're going to talk a lot about teaching that is often or has historically been buried in the depths of many traditions, both Eastern and Western, for kind of more advanced practitioners of working with energy. And you're going to hear me move between the Eastern and the Western terminology. It's terms all for the same thing, so I'm going to kind of fluidly overlap them all as we go. And these are things that if you start bringing the work from today into any energy work you're doing, any transformational work you're doing, you are going to elevate the potency and the power of the work at a whole new level. Lisa, full on energy yesterday. Yeah, totally. You need a bit more rain. Yeah, it hasn't, yeah, it's true. It's been an odd winter for us here. Okay, so starting with just a tiny disclaimer. Okay, there will be a ton of teaching in here for non-weavers, people who aren't yet trained with me as energy weavers. So all good. This is like stuff you will probably have never heard of before. And this class will have some more extensions. Hey Rebecca, so good to see you. We'll have some more extension work for the weavers in particular. It won't be long, I'll keep it short, but because we're talking about working with energy, hey Sandy, at a whole different level, which is what we do when we weave energy, and healing and manifestation, we can really take that to whole new levels with weaving. So I am going to give a little bit of extension teaching to my weavers here in the community so that they can integrate it into their Lionsgate work. Okay, so you will hear a little bit of weaving stuff. It's not extensive. There's tons in here that will be practical and applicable for everyone, right? But just know that that's there. And if you are curious about weaving and energy weaving, then you can wait around to the end. I'm going to talk really briefly about it, or you can reply to any of my emails recently. You can DM me on Facebook. You can even tag me under this post and just say, I'm curious, can you send me more details? And I'll send you more info. Okay, but I want to focus on our class here, so I'm not just going to talk about weaving. Okay, so let's get into it. So, manifestation and energy's role in that. we probably all know this, but so much of our manifestation game is energetically based, okay? From the vibration that you hold, and now your vibration, your state. We've been working here this last week and a half or so with essences. Your essences, if you are actually invoking an essence, we've talked about that a lot, right? If you're invoking an essence, you are actually setting a vibrational state in your body. That vibrational state then projects like a radio antenna, ping, 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 right? And you are affecting how magnetic you are to the manifestation. Are you aligned vibrationally to the manifestation? Okay, so we want to be vibrationally a match to the essence of the manifestation. The essences to the manifestation we have been building for a week and a half. So you are like so aligned and matched up to that, okay? So the second thing about your vibration is when you're pinging in this vibration. Oh, by the way, everyone, ask questions today, right? Seriously, because I might be talking about stuff that is slightly off the side of what you've normally heard before. Okay, so the other thing that happens is when your energy is vibrating or in alignment with your essence, you start to shift slightly dimensionally. This is because your essences were created with 5D manifestation in mind. You want to be manifesting on your new timeline, right? And so the essences, the values, the qualities, the emotional states, the timeline essence, all the things that we've worked on in the last week, they're all designed to shift you also into a 5D state. Now, it could be subtle, it's just a shifted perspective, but you'll notice it because things flow easily, things just stack up in line. The day looks a little brighter, the colors look a little brighter, everything flows a little smoother, right? And when you're in those states, the other thing that's going to happen is you are going to see more clearly the direct path. Because when you're in that state, when you shift dimensionally in your experience, you perceive reality differently around you. You will see things you don't see from the 3D place, right? You will see different opportunities, different solutions, different intuitive guidances, all of it, right? And so we want to be holding our vibration. And the second piece here in our energy is we want to keep our energy without resistance. So remember we talked about the currents of creation. And when our manifestation is a lens set down within the currents of creation, we want the currents of creation moving through that lens of our manifestation cleanly, fluidly, with speed, with ease, right? If there is too much gunk in our manifestation and in our energy bodies, in our beingness while we're trying to get that going, the currents of creation, they flow everywhere. They flow around you in the air. They also flow through your body. I'm going to talk about that today. And if they're trying to move through your body and your body is full of blocks and unresolved stuff and conflict and inner conflict and doubt and fear and all sorts of stuff, right? That creates gunk, muckiness, right? And the currents of creation slow the hell down in that. It will take you way longer to get the manifestation to drop in and come into form. If you have too many of them hanging out in there, then the currents of creation, like all water, will find the path of least resistance and they'll just continue to move around your manifestation and keep going. And then manifestation won't drop into form. Okay? So we want our energetic system to be without resistance, right? So how our energy body is, the map of our energetic system at any given moment, is a huge part of what you're doing here, right? It's not just the inspired action steps. They matter too. And of course there's the piece around our mind, but we've worked with that with our daily practice already, right? We've done that in the last workshop, right? But our energy is actually a huge piece, right? And the work that we're doing that's not energetic is serving the energetic, okay? So with that in mind, let's dive really deep into the energetics and make sure that everyone is working with them at their most potent, okay? And you're going to get quicker, more powerful results by doing this. So we start with essences, right? There are right? They're our energetic fuel sources. They're how we flavor our vibration, our life force energy. Okay, we've talked about this. Let me know in the comments now. I'm seriously very curious. What essence have you identified as wanting to work on for this period of your life, for this Lionsgate period? It won't just be Lionsgate, it's probably going to be for the next few weeks, even the next month, right? But what essences have you already identified? Now, you may have already created them in your apothecary. Awesome. You may be a little bit behind and you just identified them. I'm still curious. Let me know, what are the essences that you're working with, okay? Or planning to work with. Okay, so our essences allow us to be magnetic, to pull our manifestation into form. You need to match, and you want to match with as much consistency as possible. Now, not perfectionism. You're not going to hold that vibrational state 100% of the time, most likely. Okay, but you want to try and get some consistency in. Keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back, and resetting the vibration. And if you remember when we talked about our energetic apothecary early on, I told you if you keep stacking those essences, just re-invoking them several times a day, you will actually start to reset your baselines, your energetic baseline, the baseline of what is the default frequency, right? And your nervous system baseline, your window of tolerance will shift back into a healthier state if you're feeling a little wobbly right now, okay? So these essences, we want consistency as much as possible. We want them really pinging through our system, okay? And of course, I already talked about your ability to perceive the direct path comes from being in an aligned vibrational state with the manifestation. Okay, and so in the psychological world, they would call this activating the reticular activating system. But what it means is when your energy is vibrating, you will start to, we know that as your energy comes into a certain place, your emotions and your energy highly linked, they follow. From your emotions, your thoughts start to shift, your beliefs start to shift, and your actions start to shift. Okay, all of that pathway happens. Right? And the other thing that happens is that energy is being held in your body at a different place. You actually start to become aware of the information that is in alignment with that. Right? This is actually a part so many people miss, but it's actually really crucial. If you want to know the direct path, the real pieces that you need to do, not the overcomplicated there's a gazillion things I need to do, but the direct path, then your essence work is the way that you're going to have it just unfold in front of you, okay? So how much of the state can you be soaked in? How much vibrational match can you actually be in? And how strong is the broadcast? And you can do that by stacking the essences, right? Invoke the essence. So Sandy here, she's saying peace, beauty, love, joy, clarity. Awesome. Those are great essences. So Sandy, honey, you might like to start your day and I'm not one for like a formula. So check in with your body in the morning when you get up before the whole day starts and say, okay, what is in service to the manifestation today? What do I really need, right? That's our power question. And what essence is in service to the manifestation today? Today, maybe you want clarity, but today on another day, maybe you want peace, right? You'll know in your body. Invoke the essence. Then maybe sometime in the mid-afternoon or the middle of the day, invoke another essence. Maybe now you spontaneously have an experience of beauty in the garden. You feed it, you grow it, you stack it on top. Lay down another layer of the essence, right? And then before you go to bed at night, one more as you're going to sleep, right? You're stacking them and we're creating this vibrational consistency across your field, okay? So invoke your essences over and over, okay? Now, weaving extension for the weavers here, okay? Use them as the fuel sources that flavor the energy you're building in a weave. Okay, so when we're weaving, you all know this 101 here, you can you can either direct or refine energy, or you can build and raise energy. And you're going to be doing both here. Do both those qualities with the fuel source of your essence. Invoke your essence. So you're used to us using earth energy or using divine energy, and our standard invoke, where we pull up earth, we pull down divine, they meet in our body and then we weave them, right? Just add the flavor here. You can either add a flavor to that, or if you want to, you can just use the flavor, right? And do the weave from the flavor. So then build some energy around you in the cast space when you weave. It doesn't have to be a power weave. You can do slow flow weaving. You can keep it pretty chill. And then stack it, build it, anchor it into your light body, right? Just keep building it into your light body. You will be flooding your body with huge volumes of the manifestation essence. That's what you want to be doing, okay? And as you know, post weave, this can last for hours, for days. If you stack 2 or 3 weaves, 4 weaves on top, like in consecutive days, just 10 minutes, you know you will slip over into 5D perception and vibration. They're not fully waning between the weaves, so you're just continually stacking and gaining consistency. Okay, so that is what you want to do. That's the weaving extension. Everyone else, you can just be invoking your essences, invoking your essences. Notice how long they last after you invoke the essence, because as you do it more, they will last longer. As you stack, you'll notice that there isn't such a big contrast anymore between not having the essence in your body invoked and having it invoked, right? You will notice you start to shift, okay? That shifted state is highly magnetic to the drop-in, to the direct path, to what you want, okay? Okay, the second piece of this is the essences, the currents of creation. Working with the currents of creation within our bodies is a whole other level, and I want to talk about that now so everyone can start doing this, okay? So your manifestations are cast on the higher dimensional plane, and in a sort of a paradox state here, they live within your bodies. Okay, so they're both, and we control the flow of the currents of creation through both of those versions, right? So out in the world and inside our bodies. And so as you're listening to the teaching here right now, this is particularly for non-weavers, but for everyone, okay, I want you to think about, as we go through and you hear me talking, what's in your toolbox right now that you can apply to this, because there will be things. When I talk about the theory here, you'll go, oh, okay, well, I'm not a weaver, but I do know how to do this, and I can see how that's aligned, okay? So we're going to talk about all the different energy anatomies, how it links to the physical body, how we create those flow states, how we access the different points for interacting and directing energy. We can do all that now. So as you're going, just think about, what do I have available to me now, okay? And weavers, you know that we do all of this that I'm teaching here. We access all the 5 different portals for accessing energy in the one flowing organic blend, in the one modality, right? Okay, we're also going to obviously talk about the physical body and its state and how that's linked to manifestation. What even is the link between that, right? A lot of people talk about the non-physical aspects, right? The mental piece, the mindset, the affirmations, even the energy, right? The vision boards, all of that, and nothing about the body. So let's actually talk about that, okay? So in all transformational work, right? So manifestation and healing, right? But in all work of transformation, you want fluid, energetic movement. We want the currents of creation moving. We want them moving in our lives smoothly. We want to be moving in the direction. Taoists would call this coming into harmony with the Tao, right? But we call it the currents of creation. We want to be moving in the direction, right? We don't want to be swimming upstream. We don't want to be stuck and having the currents like pushing and pulling around us, right? We want fluid, energetic movement. We also want fluid, energetic movement in the currents in our body, in the energetic systems of our body. You want as little muck and resistance as possible. So this means you want as much fluidity in your energy body and an extension of that in your physical body. Right. We've been working with resistances already. for the last week and a half. Been thinking about your worried parts, your areas of growth, right? All those pieces that we talked about, the internal transformation, what we need to do to stay out of them. I'm going to talk a lot more about them in our final workshop on Monday for the ongoing work that needs to be happening. And we're also going to talk a lot about the paradoxes of manifestation, right? Holding paradox comfortably in our body is a huge piece of our current ascensional shift, right? And it's all over the shop, internal and external. You'll see it everywhere. And I want to talk about it in relation to manifestation on Monday so you know how to hold them comfortably as you manifest. Okay, that's Monday. So for now, we know we have resistances. Let's talk about them energetically as well. We can create a lot more speed in terms of our clearing, our releasing, if we have more movement in our energy bodies, in our system. Okay. Now, this obviously goes a long way past manifestation. If you want to speed up any transformational work you're doing, any personal development work you're doing, you want fluidity. Okay? And so, to understand this a bit better, let's talk about our energy anatomy here, our energetic systems. I'm not going to do 101, right? We're not going to go into it too much. I don't want to overwhelm everyone, right? But let's start. Let's start with our energetic core. So you have an energetic core that runs down the center of your body. It runs out your body above it. It runs down below your body, okay? Your chakra system lines up against it. Your physical spine more or less lines up against it. Central column of your vagal nervous system lines up against it. In some traditions, they might call it the pranic tube. In other traditions, the central meridian. There are many names for it, okay? We call it the central core. So we'll just go with the central core, and I want you to picture it like a clear glass tube running through the middle of your body, and inside that, energy is moving. It's coming in from outside. It's coming in from divinity. It's also coming up from the earth. Okay, and the flow can change. You can actually decide which direction the flow is going at any given point, right? But don't worry about that now. Just notice if I asked you to sense, to feel, to see, to imagine your own central core with energy moving through it, a current of creation, of life force moving through it, right? Now, along that energetic core, travels also your intuitive guidance. If you're a channeler, that's where your channel is coming from. A lot of stuff happens on this energetic core, okay? And we do not want our energetic core filled with gunk and blocks and dams and stuff, because we slow down the flow of life force through our core. Now, if we get enough blocks, if we get enough dams, if we get enough gunk, and our life force is moving very sluggishly through our core, it's going to affect your whole system. It's obviously going to affect your energy. It's going to affect your physical energy. You're going to feel lethargic and tired, right? It's going to affect your nervous system state, right? Often as you flatten out, you can't get as much flow moving through your body. You tend to go into a numbed out, disconnected state, more like a dorsal collapse in our nervous systems. We head more towards apathy or even depression, right? There's just so much gunked up in our core that we don't have a lot of life force movement. We don't want that, right? We want fluidity. We want lots of it moving through our core. So picture your core now, and even if you feel like you're making it up, just take a moment now and just go, how's my energy flowing in the core today? Right? With curiosity, not with judgment, not with, oh my God, right? Just calm, just notice it, okay? Okay, so here's your core. And now we have, you know that the chakra system I mentioned kind of lines up over the top of that, right? But there are a few power centers in the body that are extremely powerful. And the one that I really want to focus on right now, here in a Wiccan tradition, or in Shindara, we call it the cauldron. Right? But in an Eastern philosophy, they might, and many martial arts, they might call it the first dantian, right? And I want to talk about that now. So, because this is where you want to be coming from. This is where you want your energy moving from. So your cauldron is located in the pelvic region of your body. It's about a 3-finger width below your navel. Right? So if you do that on the front of your body and you move down, you can put your hand there now and feel it. And if you squeeze your perineum at the same time, just squeeze up and notice right in the center of your body. So you use the 3 fingers for the front point and you use the squeeze to find the up point, and there's a point in the middle there. And I just want you to notice, it will be subtle, but just sense, feel, like locate that space, right? That is the first dantian, that is the cauldron. Okay, now this is where we want to ground and anchor our power, right? If for those of you who know qigong, this first dantian is what starts the water wheel that starts the circulation of life force through the meridians. Okay, this cauldron is where we want to ground our energy, and we want the energy moving from this space. Okay, so you have your energy core and you have your cauldron. Then you have a second power center, which is your heart. Okay, and we'll just leave that there for a moment. Just feel that in your own system and go, okay, I get where these centers are. And actually tune in and notice the centers. Okay, energy itself has both electric and magnetic properties. Okay, and I'm not going to get too much into that, right? But you're magnetic and you're electric. So what we want to talk about here is that energy has electric properties, and we are bioelectrical beings, meaning energy is generated and moved around our bodies by our cells, our tissues, our nerves, our organs. Our organic structure is actually conducting, generating, and moving electrical impulse through our body, right? We have electrical currents flowing through our body all the time. We have electrical currents in our heart that are measured medically, right? Our brains measured medically. Our cells are giving off electrical charge. These are all signs of aliveness, of life force, of spark of creation, animus in our bodies. Hey Lou, mwah. It's okay. You can get the beginning on replay and you're all good to keep going. And Lisa, have an awesome day at work, and I know you'll be back too. Okay, all good. So we are bioelectrical. We actually have these electrical currents flowing through us. We can obviously work with them way more consciously and augment them. But we have many structures in our bodies that move electricity or energy through and along them. And these are these mini currents of creation that I've been talking, life force flowing within us. Right? Now, in an Eastern tradition, or in Qigong in particular, they would probably call this innate energy your Nei Qi, right? Now, this energy, this level of energy is not actually the energy you want to use up in your energy work. You don't want to deplete this. This is your innate life force that you're born with, that's meant to see you through your lifespan, right? What you want to do is be working from overflow, extra energy, augment more energy, build more energy, especially if you are serving somehow professionally as a healer or a facilitator of transformation, right? You have to be on this, okay? But all of this energy is moving in our system. We want to augment it with more energy, okay? So let's talk about how we can start accessing energy and moving it around our bodies more, right? So our access points to interacting with energy or life force, or the currents of creation as well, both within and around us, okay? So working with energy, hands down, on this plane, on this dimension, in this world of form, okay? Every dimension has some slightly different governances, but on this plane where we're all hanging out in incarnate form, right, we have 5 access points to start directing, building, and interacting with energy overall. We have breath, we have visualization, we have intention, we have movement, and we have sound. Okay, so we direct energy, we build energy using one or more of these methods. And if you think now over any energy practices you've already learned, any modalities you're already trained in, whatever that's looking like for you, and you now hear that breakdown, you can probably see at least one, maybe a couple floating in there, right? Weavers, you know, all 5 present in the weave, right? So we build and raise our energy, we refine and direct our energy using these access points. And I want you to notice that building and raising energy is different to refining and directing energy. Those are different things, okay? A lot of the time we're focused on refining and directing, a lot of balancing our chakras and moving currents around and getting our meridians doing. That's refining and directing energy for the most part, not building and raising more energy, okay? So there's two different ways that we work with the energy, and just want to be aware of that, right? So, well, either way, whether we are directing energy or we are raising and building energy in this world, in form, embodied here as a body, right? The most powerful, potent place we can do all of this work and use these access points is from what we call embodied position. Now, this is the most powerful place to work with energy on this plane of existence, hands down, okay? It is not in your head. It is not projected out of your body into the ether, right? It is not projected into the future, currently going, it's not here yet, oh my gosh, this is what it's going to look like, right? And it's not grounded in the past where you're worried about, oh, it didn't work last time, all those pieces, right? None of that is your power position. Your power position is when you're in your body, dropped down. I'm going to show you how to do this in a second. Anchored in the cauldron with fluidity moving through your body. You are in a very embodied position and you are in present moment. Okay, 0 point moment, they call it, right, in the quantum. But you want to be here now. This is where you affect everything. This is the power. Okay, so you want your energy sunk down into the cauldron. Now, energy, or that stays risen, that keeps rising, energy naturally wants to rise in our physical bodies. This is kind of one of those things that we should be conscious of and aware of, right? And Qigong practitioners are very weavers. You're obviously familiar with what I'm saying. So is Qigong, right? If they talk about rising Qi, if you have a lot of energy that keeps rising and you do not ground and sync it, then you, as the Qi rises, it's the electrical nature is rising, the yang is rising. You're actually activating your nervous system up into sympathetic all the time, right? Now, sympathetic is not, your sympathetic nervous system is not the most optimal potent place for energy work. You actually want to be in parasympathetic state for the most powerful energy work. That goes for channeling, it goes for intuition, it goes for healing, that goes for manifestation, all of it. You want to be in parasympathetic. You want your energy sunk. Hey, Crystal. Awesome. Pleasure has been my pathway. I love that. Yes, absolutely. There's so much that can be said for pleasure and joy. And I am going to talk about actually pleasure. And let's just detour for a second because Crystal brought it up. Moving your body towards pleasure, towards the yes, towards what feels good in your soma, in your somatic body, is a pathway to come into flow. Right? It is following the intuitive guidance of the body. And I'm going to talk about how the soma overlays with your energy body in just a minute. But yes, move towards pleasure, people, all the time. Okay, so if you want your energy sunk in your cauldron, you want your energy down, okay? You want to try, your energy is down, it's in the cauldron, where it can then start, the water wheel can start turning, the flow, the movement can start with control, with power, with direction. And the cauldron is where your energy builds. You can build it and stack it and store it down here in that first power center. Okay, so the extra piece here is you want to sync your chi. So the sync your chi is a Qigong term, but for the Wiccan term, it would be just sync the energy into the cauldron, right? We want our energy down. And so let's actually just take a moment to do that, right? I gave you your energetic core, your pranic, and I showed you how to find your cauldron. Pop your hand back down there again, give a light squeeze, just find that cauldron center again. This is where you're going for, okay? Now, this will probably be the first time you've potentially done this, unless you're already a weaver or a Qigong practitioner. So it will be subtle, and that is okay, right? So what I want you to do is take a moment to come into a comfortable position in your body. So you want to be relaxed. You want to be aligned. I'm not going to go too far into this because it's a whole class, but let's just do a short version. Just get yourself comfortable so that your body is in its most effortless state. Right? You're not holding yourself up from gravity in some way. You're not like twisted, funny. Like, just take a moment to notice your body. Is it in a fairly easeful state? Right? I mean, in Qigong, they call this floating the bones. But do you have your space and your muscles can just hang over your skeletal structure? You're kind of all lined up here. We could talk about that for a while, but we won't. So just get into position. Okay, now imagine and visualize that energetic call and your cauldron. Okay, now we are going to do something very simple here right now. There's many ways to sync your energy, get your cauldron, get everything dropped down. This is one technique, okay? So what I want you to do is just take a nice breath in, and on your out breath, just relax your energy. And as you relax, exhaling, let your body, your muscles relax as well, okay? Really actually focus on letting go and relaxing. And again, we're focused on the exhale for this exercise, okay? Exhaling, letting go, letting the energy relax, letting the body relax. Okay. Now, on the next in breath, as you breathe in and as you exhale and you let go and the musculature of your body lets go, feel the space in your thoracic cavity open up. Right? Feel your ribs expand out. Feel the intercostal muscles between your ribs expand out. Feel your diaphragm dropping, letting go. Okay? And I mean your somatic diaphragm. Your diaphragm when we won't get into that. Just picture letting go. Space opening up. On your next inhale, continue to see it dropping. Now, we keep our chest often tight, constricted. This does not leave room for a lot of space in our somas. So exhaling again and feel space opening up, right? If we have a lot of constriction up here, we're pushing the chi, the energy up. We don't want that. Space, okay? Now we're going to add one more piece to this. Your hands have a point on each hand that is a projection point of chi. It's like a director of chi or energy in your body. So in Qigong, they call them Lao Gong. We just call them our hands in weaving, right? But they're extremely powerful points, right? And when we do a somatic extension, when we have the chi leave our bodies, when we have energy outwards, we use this. Now, the other thing about this is wherever we face these points, when we're consciously aware of them, we direct chi. We direct energy in our bodies. So just take a moment to rub your hands together, okay? So you can activate these points. They're here in the middle of your palms, okay? Just give them a little rub. You're going to feel them activate. For anyone who's a Reiki healer, you're definitely going to feel the energy here in your hands already. And what I want you to do is I want you to put one hand, it doesn't matter which hand, okay? One hand over the cauldron, over that first power center. And the other hand, I want you to place at your third eye for a moment, facing straight down towards the ground. Okay, and now return to the exhale. As you exhale, see your somatic body letting go, space opening up in the chest, in the ribs, right? And as the space opens up, your energy will naturally fall. Continue to exhale and just let it fall down. It's falling down your central core. Everything is sliding down into the cauldron, okay? You're directing the energy. You're saying, energy this way, down. And this is what this hand is doing, right? And you're anchoring it into the cauldron with your other hand. Here, come here, okay? So again, exhaling, sinking, letting the energy fall, drop, letting it drop. And very slowly, don't rush this, start to move your hand down as you're exhaling. And you'll feel the energy, it's moving down with you, okay? You're going to feel more space in your head, in your face, in your throat as you're coming down. Continuing to exhale, allowing space to form in the soma and the energy to fall with gravity, the direction. Down it goes, sinking. Continue to go, and I want you to make sure that you get this hand down to around your diaphragm at the bottom of your rib cage here, okay? So that we've really emptied out our chest area and our energy is sunk. And so now while you're here, nice in-breath, you should be able to feel the energy now can flow directly to the cauldron. So nice inhale. And even if you give it a little squeeze just to find that cauldron again, just feel the energy flowing straight to it now. Breathing in life force, exhaling, letting the energy just sink straight to the cauldron. Okay, that was a very quick version of that because I'm conscious I don't want to take too much time for that. But I want you to take a moment to notice you will feel weighted in your pelvis here. You will feel spacious up here, and you will feel a sense of, it's a form of grounding that I didn't even connect you to earth, right? I let your energy fall instead of having it all shoved up here in our heads, in our minds, in our throats, congested in our hearts, right? Now, it may have felt subtle to you. I didn't go through a lot of work on healing spaces in the soma, right? So, but you should feel heavy in your pelvis. Let me know how you feel. I want to know what you experienced just then as we sunk the energy and we located the cauldron and we just let it anchor in there. Okay, now this is embodied position. This is the position to do your energy work from. This is the position to invoke an essence from, to cast a divinity bubble from, right? We talked about those techniques in previous workshops. This is where you do it from, this position. This is also a great place to do your manifesting ritual from, or your healing work from, any and all, okay? From this place, the energy then moves through our bodies via our soma and our physical body. It travels from typically out from that central, from the cauldron, it starts to move and turn, right? And the energy travels out. It travels out along our nerves, our nervous system, our autonomic nervous system. The vagus nerve moves through the entire body, travels along our nerves as electrical impulse, right? The energy moves along that. It also travels and conducts through our fascia in our body, right? Now, our fascia is a web of connective tissue that is actually encases all our muscles, all our organs. It wraps around everything, almost like a inner suit under our skin. It can be quite firm and rubbery, right? Now, if it doesn't have a lot of fluidity, it can be really tight, and you will know because you will have so much trouble relaxing your muscles and keeping them in a relaxed state. They just won't let go. You'll have sore shoulders, neck, wherever it is, everything. The fascia is bound tight, and it can be really tight and rubbery. That's actually not good for conducting energy, right? Metaphysical energy through our bodies. So we actually want to be able to loosen our fascia, which will be another discussion, right? But the energy travels along our nerves, it travels along our fascia. Overlaying that, it's traveling along our meridian system, our channels, right? And if you picture all that, you'll see eddies and movements, okay? If I just ask you to visualize, sense, imagine this energy moving outwards now from that cauldron across a map across your body, webs, right? Roots, your own set of internal roots, all moving out, energy moving through them. You'll see little eddies, points, right? Now it's interesting to notice that those points are actually very often acupuncture points. Even if you're not trained in acupuncture, they actually often overlay. And those acupuncture points are often overlaying fascia trains, fascia lines in the body, and nervous system pathways, nerves, the pathway of the nerves, right? This is all interconnected, right? So the energy moves through our soma. It moves through those somatic diaphragms. It moves through the joints, the cavities and the spaces in our joints, right? And it moves along those pathways that I talked about. Now, you want flow in those spaces. For high fluidity in the body, you want to be thinking about this, okay? You want these areas ungunked, unblocked. You want the currents of creation moving fluidly through this whole area. And these somatic spaces that I've just been talking about here, these are often the areas that trauma therapists or somatic therapists are working with to release trauma and stress out of the body, right? This is often where we store past wounding in our somatic bodies, right? So that's kind of how all that's linking up too, right? So all of this is overlaying on top of each other. It's all combined, and all of this combined is how we move energy through our bodies with control and power, right? For us to be at our most potent, we want to have space in our somatic diaphragms and our joints. We want to have our energy sunk into the cauldron. We want to be aligned in an easeful state with our muscles and our skeleton. Right, I talked about that. And so we want to focus on creating ease and pleasure and relaxation in the body. Flexibility supports this goal. And you can see this in any internal arts from the East, right? Why are they doing all this stretching and why are they doing these movements? Then they're doing this because they're getting the body optimized for energy flow, right? And we do this in weaving all the time, right? If we're doing a very slow flow weaving and we're moving into pleasure, we're moving towards the yes, we're doing the stretch and we're doing the release, right? All of this is somatic movement, right? It's some of it's derived from my work with somatic yoga, right? But like we're moving, we're getting the body into flow state. From here, Lou, have we talked about the somatic body before? Many times. Maybe not in your level 1 because you've been a weaver for years, honey. We would have talked about it in altar weaving, pretty sure. We've talked about it heaps. Maybe you need to go and look at some of our old classes again, or I can just talk about it more. Anyway, okay. So for us to be at our most potent, we want that in our physical body. From here, we can powerfully, much more powerfully, way more powerfully. This is chalk and cheese to not having this in place, right? Control, direct, build energy in your body at a whole new level. And you can conduct it through your body and out of your body with control in a way so that you have a tangible, felt experience of energy. It's not I'm visualizing it or I'm imagining it or I hope the energy was there. Did I do that right? No. You will feel it, right? So any advanced practitioner in any of these internal energetic arts that I'm talking about here from East or West, they actually feel the energy in their somatic body, the physical sensations of it. They'll feel heat, they'll feel movement, they'll feel tingling, they'll feel the wheels turning, like they'll feel it all in the actual physical body, right? When you're playing that game with energy, you're working at a very different level, okay? This is the most potent place to cast or project energy from, i.e. your manifesting ritual for Lionsgate, a divinity bubble, invoking an essence, okay? Okay, so the weaving extension here quickly for people. You know that when you're in this state of fluidity, this is where you slip into your flow states, those slipstreams that we talk them. As you stack your practice, just a short practice, not even a full shebang practice, a short practice, the fluidity increases, the movement increases, right? Everyone else, if you just keep doing whatever's in your toolbox with consistency, you've already probably experienced that, you feel more flow state, right? You feel everything moving better, both externally in your life and internally, right? As within, so without, right? You're going to notice that in weaving in particular. Just, a couple of weaves, you stack them up, you get way more speed and flow in your entire system, okay? So for everyone, not just the weavers, when you are doing your Lionsgate ritual, or when you're doing any of the techniques you've learned in this series, like invoking essences, casting divinity bubbles, this is the power position you want to be in. Your energy sunk. You want to be in a bit of a flow state here. So, in summary, if you're not a weaver, what the hell does that mean for you? Do something that puts you in your body, and loosens your muscles up. You could go for a walk, you could do some yoga, you could do some breath work. Okay, this is where I'm thinking what's in your toolbox right now. Okay, In fact, you could let me know if you want in the comments. That would be awesome. Okay, then sink the chi, sink the energy into the cauldron. From there, cast an essence, something out of your energetic apothecary, right? You will be doing it with power, with control, with groundedness, right? You'll be in your empowered, embodied position, right? Which is what we want. And then do your work from this place, from this essence, this vibration, this position in your body. Okay, whatever you're planning to work on. All right, for the weavers, how is all this relating? Okay, this is the optimal plan I'm giving you now. Okay, the optimal manifestation plan. Plan to weave for 10 minutes or so for 3 or 4 consecutive weaves. Okay, just 3 is often a really good number, right? Build and stockpile the energy from the weave. You're using your essence, any essence in your apothecary, as your primary fuel source for the weave. Build that, raise that in your body. You know you can create huge quantities, right? Stockpile it, build it. Okay, even if you're not doing a power weave and you're in a slow flow state, you're keeping it gentle, maybe because you're more healing, you don't feel as well, you're low energy, you have your period, whatever, you can totally keep it very gentle, slow flow. You can still move that essence through your entire body with fluidity and stockpile it. It's what I want you to be doing, right? You know that after 3 or 4 weaves, right, just less than a week, right, you're going to have come into that high flow state, shifted into your 5D state. Your energy state will start experiencing a consistency in your 5D perception, right? Use these essences to keep your sustained shift in your vibration going, right? Okay, and then do whatever ritual you want to do, right? Probably a weaving ritual. Use weaving in the ritual to build and raise the energy before you cast, right? Obviously, for the non-weavers, you're just doing your ritual. That's perfectly fine. But weavers, you know that you can cast with 10x the power, 10x the potency, right? If you build the energy, and then what you're casting with is not just what happens to be in your energy body at the time or floating around you in the room. No, you're casting with energy you intentionally built in the weave. When you wove the energy, you flavored it with your essences, right? So, and you've raised it to huge level. Cast that, okay? Okay. So that is all I wanted to share today. I covered a lot of advanced work, right? If you have a question, please ask them. Seriously, I'm so available to answer questions, and I'm not really sure with a lot of the new people particularly where everyone's prior knowledge is, and I want to be really relevant to you. So please let me know what landed for you, what you really were interested in what I said, and questions, right? For sure, okay? Okay, so all the time come from that embodied position, cauldron, essence, okay? So that's pretty much it for today, but before we go, I'm going to take 1 minute for the people who are curious to let everyone know that I am opening the doors for a new level 1 training in energy weaving. You will come, you will learn how to weave energy, you will be initiated as an energy weaver, full shebang. I haven't opened the doors on this for a year now, so for everyone who's been like, when's that happening? Now it's happening. I'm sorry. I've had a very busy time lately, but I'm fully here and we're going to do the weaving. So come and train and become an energy weaver. The game is a completely different game, my beautiful people. So briefly, what you're going to do here. Level 1, you're going to connect and develop with a whole new tangible felt relationship with energy. This is a very different experience with energy. Okay, you're going to learn a whole new level of command and power of your own energy, which will blow your mind. I don't think people always come for that transformation, like to understand their true power, to actually experience it, but it's always one of the first outcomes, and I love that. Okay, you will also learn to refine and direct and build and raise energy in your body, through your body, in cast space, right? You'll also learn to create potent, bespoke, blended energies, right? We're not just using whatever's floating around us. We are very consciously working with extremely powerful energies, and that's what we're raising, right? And you can use those for any sort of bespoke work you're doing, you're personally or professionally, right? You can use those energies. You can stockpile those energies in your light body, which will radically expand your light body, right? You can evolve your whole energetic system essentially forwards. Hands down. I can pretty much say that confidently. Everyone has different outcomes, but those ones that I've just mentioned, they're givens for everyone, right? You're going to learn how to work with the sacred and with the Wiccan traditions, with nature, with divinity at a whole new level. You're also going to experience all the things we talked about here today. There's slipstreams, those flow states, that high fluidity in the body, the 5D perceptions and experiences, the little whitewater rapids of manifestation and flow where things just keep coming, like you're thinking things and an hour later they're in front of you, right? All those little things. Your intuition becomes incredibly heightened when you weave, okay? And it accelerates whatever gifts and experiences are coming to you essentially, right? And that's different for everyone, okay? What's next for you on your journey is your journey, but it speeds along the evolution of your energetic system and your crafts, whatever they are, okay? Weaving is a massive amplifier for all of that. Okay. And it also supports you in any personal development work you're doing, hands down, right? Because it's going to keep you in an expansion state comfortably, sustainably, keep you in an expansion state in alignment and smoothed out, flowing, so you can work with ascension energy rather than just kind of getting tugged along and trying not to drown, right? Because we know it's intense, right? You're going to work with that proactively at a different level, comfortably. Okay, we're going to widen that energetic capacity through the weaving, right? That energetic core, right? Everyone, you're going to widen the energetic core, your capacity to hold more energy moving through your body powerfully, comfortably, sustainably, without wobbles, without backlash, without overwhelm or burnout. And that also goes for energies coming at you, coming into the system, right? Energies, ascensional energies, collective energies, right? And then the collective, when everyone loses their minds, right? And energy gets really intense on the planet, right? Lionsgate. For some of you, that was a bit of a wobble period where you got some like, well, this energy is really intense, and you felt anxiety in your body and you didn't know why, right? I think I did a post on that, so I won't go into that now. Even moons, some sensitive people are really sensitive to the moons, right? When your energetic capacity widens out, you comfortably hold all of that. It also means you can comfortably build and raise a huge amount of energy without fry or overload, right? So your capacity is going to raise. You're going to smooth out your expansion and contraction cycles, that roller coaster where I'm in expansion, oh my God, I'm in contraction, back off world, right? As roller coasters, when we weave, we even out the flow, right? We build a consistency, a sustainability, which is much nicer place to hang out, okay? And of course, I have seen over the years, in myself and in all of the weavers, so many examples of healing and manifesting, like blah, so many. I should probably find some stories because I'm conscious that not everyone has that background, but there's just so many that I've probably lost track of them all. They just happen as byproducts of working with energy at this level. Weaving is really an internal energetic art for magic. Okay, so if you are interested or curious, or you would like more information, or you even have questions, right, then reply to any email I've sent you in your inbox in the last couple of days, or DM me here on Facebook, or just tag me below saying more deets, please. Okay, and I will put together all of the information for the upcoming training so that it's in one nice PDF I can just ship off to you all, and you can have it at your leisure. Okay, so I haven't seen any more comments or questions come through. Maybe I've just overloaded you all today. I'm not sure. I would really love to hear a takeaway from people. Seriously, I would love to know what is landing, where the questions are lying. Am I speaking at a level that makes sense to everyone, or is this just like, what is she talking about? Let me know. I really want to be of service here. I want it to be relevant. Okay, I want you to take what you've got here today, even one or two little pieces, tiny nuggets out of that, add it to your manifesting process, whatever that is. Okay, you've got heaps of stuff here in the last week and a half, so I'm assuming you have a good process and you're working it. Okay, next workshop we're going to talk about how to keep it all going sustainably, comfortably, as things having to drop in without fear, without wobbles, without like how you navigate all of that and the paradoxes of manifestation, how we hold it all comfortably and stay in fluidity. So I will do that on Monday. Until then, have an amazing weekend. Much love to you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.